Hi there guys, Harvey here. Palace review for that awful game that I've just witnessed away to Villa. After the Chelsea game last week, I said I was a lot more confident going into this game. I thought the team really showed some fight, great tempo, quick passing, one-touch play. It was just everything you wanted to see against a top team and everything you want to see from your team in general. If we play like that every week, we'd be a top 10 side in my opinion. And there's a lot of things to be positive about. Going into this game, I was obviously, as I said, a lot more confident for that reason. Don't blame Roy for playing the same team. Obviously, there was one change because of Cahill, Sacco coming in, and after the way Sacco played against Chelsea, I thought that's absolutely fine. So no problems going into the game. Game kicks off, and I thought we were definitely the better team in early stages, and that showed with the goal that we had. Somehow, it's been disallowed for a handball. It hit above the Puma badge on the shoulder, and I'm going to say shoulder because that's what it is. And if you look at the rules, that's fine. The top part of the arm to the bottom of the shoulder is fine. The bottom of the shoulder is kind of classed as, well, you know, the top of the arm. And it was right on that area. I think you can't say it's a handball from there. You can't. And I think that we've been robbed of a goal there. I think that's incredibly harsh to give that against Sacco. And obviously, we get a 6th-minute goal chalked off early, and it's very rare we score first in games. Well, I say very rare we score first. It's very rare we score early in games. I've scored the fewest goals in the first half this season in the Premier League. And when we do score first, we haven't gone on to lose. I think we've always gone on to get a result from scoring first in the league so far this season as well. So those stats, you know, you can't help but look at those stats and think, you know, we would have, the game would have been a different story. But after that goal, it was such a big moment. I think it kind of flattened us a little bit because we started off really well, I thought. And Villa, I think, got picked up by that. Obviously, well, you would be. You're thinking you're 1-0 down. It was poor defending from them. And the goal gets chalked off. So I think the reaction was telling because we didn't really have a good first half from then on. I thought we got into good areas and we definitely, you know, we got a few shots off. Reina made a couple of okay saves, nothing really out of the ordinary for him. We got in good areas, and yeah, like I said, I think we got into good positions. It was just the end product again. It's such like a broken record with us. The final shot just wasn't there, or the final ball, but we were getting in okay areas. Villa were getting in good areas as well. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the first half, right in injury time, it is a free kick, very even up to that point, I'd say. Free kick comes in. And it's a great ball. I think it's really well defended by Ward. He gets the flick on, but the marking at the back post, you can see on the setup, on the replay, no one picking up Trezeguet at the back post. Everyone's man-to-man, and then it's just Trezeguet there at the back post. Really sloppy. You've got to look at leaders. Sacco in the middle, and Dan, experienced players. Guaita, who's meant to be commanding the back four there. Luka, captain, who, by the way, I think had one of his worst games for us today. He was shocking. Who's picking up that man? Who's calling out and shouting for someone to get over there? And I think it's signs like that make me think that the players are on the beach already. And it's sad to see because there's still a lot to fight for in terms of just pride and, you know, and going into next season with some sort of confidence and ability, and, you know, trying to finish in top 10. There's a number of things that there was still to play for going into today. But it looks like the players are on the beach, in my opinion. Yeah, and again, sloppy in the first half in terms of passing. And Luke, as I mentioned, was really poor. He was the one that stood out for me and rightfully got subbed off in the second half for Maya late on. But yeah, and I thought we can only get better from here. I thought it was okay in areas. As I said, going forward on the counter-attack, we had some okay spells. And again, it was just end product that was really the problem for me. Sloppy passing here and there. But overall, Villa didn't look great at the back. They looked a little shaky. It didn't look like they would be able to hold on to a win or to hold on to the lead. And second half kicks off, and it's even worse. Grealish dives. It's a blatant dive for a pen, and you know people say, yeah, but how can you say that Grealish is diving when you know you've got Zaha in your team? I've never seen Zaha done something like that before. I can hold my hands up. Honest to God, I've never seen a player as a heart, you know, stop on the ball, then stick his leg out to then go and then delay the fall. It was everything about it looked like a dive. So really poor from Grealish there because I rate him really highly, and you don't want to see him do stuff like that. And then you thought that would wake us up, like in the first half where we got our goal disallowed by VAR. You're thinking that penalty being overturned by VAR would then be the same sort of effect that it had on Villa, it would kick us up the arse a bit. But no, Villa go up the other end. Great save off the line from Greater from a corner, sloppy defending again. And then 24 seconds later, it is put in a through ball that Sacco bottles. And it's tapped in by Trezeguet because Luka's keeping him on because he's not running up to join the line quick enough. All slow, lethargic defending, not quick enough, and in general, really, really poor. And that's the way it finishes. Nothing really to report in the second half whatsoever. It was a really poor second half, and it just reminded me of the Leicester game, in my opinion. It was a throwback to that. Really slow, no energy in the second half specifically. I thought we were better in the first half. Not great by not great by the standards that I know that we can get to. The Chelsea game being an example, we were nowhere near that level in the first half, but it was still somehow better than the second half. Second half was just atrocious. And Villa, they showed because they had something to fight for today. They had to get defending, not quick enough, and in general, really, really poor. And that's the way it finishes. Nothing really to report in the second half whatsoever. It was a really poor second half, and it just reminded me of the Leicester game, in my opinion. It was a throwback to that. Really slow, no energy in the second half specifically. I thought we were better in the first half. Not great not great by the standards that I know that we can get to. The Chelsea game being an example, we were nowhere near that level in the first half, but it was still somehow better than the second half. Second half was just atrocious. And Villa, they showed because they had something to fight for today. They had to get the win. They had to get the win, and they got the win and deserved it. They showed it what you had to do to get it, and as I mentioned already, they needed the win to stay up or to have a chance of staying up. We didn't have anything to play for, and it showed at the end of the day. And it's really disappointing as a fan to see the team kind of not really care, because that's what it looked like. And even when we've got nothing to play for, we're still going to be staying up. We're going to finish just inside the, in the bottom half of the table, but comfortably mid-table. I just wanted to see more. And it's showing. I think the aging squad is showing all these games in quick succession. A lot of stuff Roy needs to work on over the summer. I just really hope we get a win before the season finishes, if I'm honest, because it's apart from Bournemouth, it's been dire, and the Chelsea performance, it's been dire. It's been really dire.